Welcome back, fight fans, to another episode of GTS Combat. Yo, I'm looking ahead to a highly anticipated fight. This one is the co-main event on March 15th, UFC 262. And it's going to be a 5-round fight. Even though it's a co-main event, I know what you're thinking. This has never really happened in the UFC before, as far as I'm aware. But, as we all know, Dana White makes exceptions for certain stars, and this one is in the form of Nathan Diaz, and he's taking on Leon Rocky Edwards. So let's get into it. This is come of a bit of a surprise to me. I really didn't see this one coming. As far as I know, the only time each of the guys have mentioned each other's names was Leon done an interview on ESPN with Brett Okamoto in the build up to what was, turns out it was his fight with Bilal Muhammad. It was when he was searching for an opponent and he didn't currently have one after Khamzat Chimaev had to pull out. So he was talking about potential matchups that he wouldn't mind, and Nate Diaz got a mention because he tweeted something about, I only want to fight winners, and Leon said, well, I need an opponent. You said you only want to fight winners. At the time he was on an 8-fight win streak. What was the problem is what Leon was saying. And maybe that is how we've got to this fight. Who knows? Because Leon had his fight with Bilal Muhammad after being out the octagon for 2 years, and it ended in just over a round. It was like a round and then like 1 minute into the second round due to an eye poke, and it was quite unfortunate obviously for both guys. And I know Bilal was calling for that fight to be ran back, but Leon wants to move on. He did say he wanted to fight, up the rankings, so I'm not sure how he ended up with Nate Diaz. But what comes with Nate Diaz is a lot of attention, a lot of eyes onto this fight, and that's exactly what Leon needed. He didn't need someone like Bilal Muhammad again in some rematch that potentially looked like it was going to be a win for Leon. I know in a 5-round fight anything could happen. Any fight anything could happen, but definitely potentially into them later rounds. And if Bilal can get some wins together, he probably could fight Leon later down the line. That would be a good narrative, a good little storyline. But right now, here we are with Nate Diaz. So that is exactly what Leon needed. If he wasn't going to get a ranked opponent because Colby doesn't want to fight him, Masvidal doesn't want to fight him, and he looks like he's got his rematch with Kamaru Usman, then really, who else was left for him? He could have went slightly below himself with someone like Stephen Thompson. Maybe he could have edged for a fight with Gilbert Burns as well. They were two names, but it looks like them two have now been matched up. So, a fight with Nate Diaz, if you look at it like that, isn't too bad really. Like I said, you're going to get a good paycheck. Should be hopefully an easy win for Leon. And a lot of eyes on the fight, which is exactly what Leon needs. He needs to build a bit of a fan base, a bit of popularity in the UFC. Obviously, he's got the UK fans like myself who are backing him. But when you look on these little polls and these little comment sections on posts, a lot of the American fans don't really rate Leon, and they really do disregard him quite often. So, get a win over Nate Diaz. Hopefully, that could spark some attention, spark himself into the mix with the likes of Colby Covington. Maybe get a #1 contenders fight, because Colby's at the moment sitting out waiting for a title shot, but he needs to stay active potentially. If this fight with Usman and Jorge Masvidal is booked, then who knows what happens there. Might be some injuries, may need to wait a while. Does Colby want to sit out for that long? A win over Nate Diaz maybe sparks his attention. Boom. Could have a #1 contender fight. Or who knows what happens between Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson. Leon wants to stay active, he says. So after this fight, if he can't get a title shot straight away, I'm sure we'll see him back in there. And hopefully that will be with one of the top guys. But right now, how do I see this one playing out? I'm not totally disregarding Nate. I'm really not. I'll be honest. Hopefully it is an easy win for Leon. I see Leon being able to pick him off, be a sniper. And yeah, hopefully keep the fight standing up is where I see Leon winning this fight. But Nate Diaz is a tricky opponent. He's quite rangy. He has a lot of forward pressure. He can take shots, as we all know. And if it goes into them later rounds, like we always say with Nate, who knows what could happen if he's still coming and Leon's starting to gas out. He could start to wear on him. He could end up taking the fight to the ground. He could start tying him up and wrapping him up and maybe getting some sort of choke or any sort of lock, just locking onto something. We don't know. This is the UFC. So, Nate Diaz potentially standing up. He could have a nice little scrappy back and forth, but I don't think Leon would get into a scrappy fight with Nate. I think he would really sort of control the distance and just pick Nate off. But, like I said, if Nate can just keep coming forward, taking them shots and applying that pressure, and when Leon has sort of worn himself out a little, Nate's still coming. Crazier things have happened in the UFC, and I don't like the fact that Leon is fighting. You know, he's a number 3 ranked welterweight in the UFC, and I'm not even sure where Nate is. Is Nate even ranked right now? I don't know. If he is, it's gonna be somewhere low in the top 15. And Leon's risking it all again. He was willing to risk it against Khamzat Chimaev. He was willing to risk it against Bilal Muhammad. And now he's risking it against Nate Diaz. If he lost the likes of Stephen Thompson, at least he's still sitting in the top 5. Dana's maybe looking at, like, you know, Leon wins. He gets a good name under his belt. He gets some shine to his name. And, you know, maybe it builds for a bigger fight down the line for Leon, which obviously benefits the UFC when it looks as numbers, if he's going to ends up fighting in a main event, which is most likely. But then you got Nate Diaz over here on the other hand. He's one of the UFC's biggest stars, fighting a number 3 ranked guy. If he wins, Nate Diaz is in the fucking mix for a title shot. He'll be in the top 5 of the welterweight division. I would never have seen this coming in 2021. But I'll be honest, my actual official prediction is going to go with Leon Edwards. I believe he's going to get the W. He's going to bring it back. Yeah, and he needs this victory after being out for 2 years and having a win, well, not a win, a no contest on his name, on his record, after being out for 2 years isn't ideal. He looked like he was comfortable. Looked like he was going to win that fight, but who knows? We can't say that. There was obviously still 3.5 rounds, if not more, left of that fight. But now he's here with Nate Diaz, and a big name in the UFC. I'm hoping he gets the victory. I'm saying he's going to be, you know, too sharp for him, too precise. He's going to be a sniper. He's going to pick his shots, and I believe I'm going out. And I know Nate has never really been stopped, other than, you know, he got the doctor stoppage against Jorge Masvidal in his last fight. But I'm saying Leon Edwards with a 4th round TKO finish over Nate Diaz. That's going to be my official prediction. Let me know your official prediction in the comment section below. I've been your boy Jimmy. This has been GTS Combat. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Till next time.